going on, guys? I'm back with another late Mazda Monday. It's like midnight here. So this past Saturday, we did Dyno Day, and I had a couple of my customers come down, slash friends come down and do some pulls on a dyno to see where they're at and kind of get a rough estimate of what's coming for the future. We had a decent amount of Mazda show up to this, and like I didn't really advertise it much, but the dyno day was like pretty packed, so I'm just glad a couple guys were able to get on the dyno, and gals, just one. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to show you guys people's builds. Today, I got a chance to finally start working on the big turbos. Things are going well. I'm impressed with the Pure 500 so far. Good boost. We're not pulling any timing, and we're using pump gas. The other big turbo cars on E30, we're not on E30, and we're at sea level, which means we're technically making more power, because up here the big turbo car is at 6K feet elevation. So we have a guy at sea level, Chad, and he's running that big turbo right now. We're running roughly 22 PSI on the big turbo, and we're gonna slowly start cranking it up, but he doesn't have like E85 stations close to him. So we're gonna crank it up as much as we can without running into any issues with, knock retard and whatnot. And so we're gonna keep the timing low and just try to up the boost. Since the turbo is bigger, the air charge is cooler, so there's a lower chance of knock because it's not so hot. So today I don't wanna go into too much of me explaining everything. This video is mainly for some of my customers, and also like some of the development cars that we have. And I'm just really thankful that all you guys have been supporting me so far. I didn't plan on getting to the point where my channel would be able to, I'd be able to make money with the YouTube channel. But I'm glad that happened, and yeah, I just want to show you guys some of the customers I have, some of my friends here in Colorado. Unfortunately, I didn't invite like all of my Colorado customers. There's a decent amount of them, and maybe one day we'll have a meetup with all of us there and look at all from the second gen all the way to our newer fourth gens of the vehicles and their different builds. But it was just nice to get a couple of the fourth gens and the third gen down there. We didn't have some of our other supercharged vehicles show up, or I have like guys that they live like 2 hours away, so there's a couple more supercharged guys that I tune, and a few turbo guys, and then some second gen guys. So I'm actually pretty surprised how many Colorado customers I have right now, and most of them found me by YouTube. So yeah, so we're gonna just go ahead and look at the vehicles, and it is dyno day. Not everyone has access to a dyno. So after this video, I know because people have been asking me, because I was doing the Mazda edit, part 1, part 2. After today, so next Monday, will be part 3 of Mazda edit, and we'll go over setting up the virtual dyno, and I'll show you guys how accurate it is compared to the actual dyno. And from what I'm seeing, like it's within 10 horsepower of an actual dyno, guys. And it might be actually really accurate, because on the dyno, you're not getting the airflow like you would on the road with all the wind when you're speeding up. So that actually probably is your true horsepower, which is showing on the V-dyno if you set it up correctly. So no, not too much talking, because there's a lot of customers in here and I want to get some customer appreciation. So we'll go over to the dyno day from Saturday and just, appreciate the cars that are there. And we have some more information coming. I'm gonna let Brian talk about his cars on his channel, so I don't want to talk too much about that. But yeah, let's get to the dyno day. Yeah. Down here at Speedy Roof for dyno day. You got my supercharged Mazda 3. Brian's Turbo 3. He already went on a dyno. Then we got Lance's big turbo, 4th gen. Another one of Brian's car, his other Indy Miata went on a dyno already. And then we got Bo that's just pulling up. And then I believe our other big turbo car in the future, John, will be here. And then we have a supercharged Mazda on the way. We're down back at Speedy Roo Motorsports, back with Lance. I know you guys want to update, so I'm gonna let you guys hear what Lance has to say about his build and what's going on with it.
So we all know I've got the Burger Motorsports cold air intake. I've got the big turbo. I've got the prototype charge pipe, which is on, and you can't see it in the back, but I do have the Go Fast Bits diverter valve now installed in the car. It's hard to see from the top. You got to get it from the bottom. With the downpipe and the exhaust. Yesterday it came off the dyno at, it was 299.7, so call it 300 horsepower and 400 torque. I did have to put the big fuel pump in the tank, but we're still running out of fuel at that. Like, I'm done right now because we're trying to figure out the fuel. But with the tables we have now, we're going to start messing with the injector tables, see if we can get the fuel to that, and we can make some more power. It's gonna go. This charge pipe flows so much better than anything we've seen. That's why I'm running out of fuel. The airflow off that turbo into the throttle is amazing. I'm hoping, because I know I was at 307, I'm hoping we're gonna make another 10, 15 out of it. I'm hoping. I'd love to see 320, 330. Torque has dropped, which is cool for us because the airflow is better. So we're seeing a better torque horsepower ratio than what we were seeing, which is way better for this car. So that's where the car is at right now. Next week it'll probably go back on the dyno for a couple days so we can tweak with some fuel injectors.
All right, guys, and there you have it. So yeah, he has that new charge pipe. He's the only one with it, the first one out of us. I mean, there's the diesels have a charge pipe, but this is the first one I've seen on the Skagactiv G Turbo. And they're gonna only be at Speedy Roo. I don't know when they're coming out, but you guys are gonna be in the video too. So we're just working the prototype. We want to make sure it's all good. And then there's a few things we're going to add. There's a couple brackets missing off mine that we're going to put back on for the clip here. The map sensor is going to have the spot for it. We'll have all the clips back on it, so that'll get going. And the other thing we figured out is the black plastic piece in the back. We actually can keep that and run the rubber piece, and then we'll just run the charge pipe here. I actually have metal pie cuts, so it took longer to make. It's going to be quicker to make with the plastic and then coming to the metal. So that's the way it's going to end up going out to you guys, and then we'll add the brackets to it. We're hoping here Dave's talking to the guy who made this so we can get some getting made and get going with them. And then we will have a powder coat that's going to be kind of like black. If you want a special powder coat, we can make that happen, but it could cost you a little bit more money. All right, what do we have done to this? Introduce yourself.
What's going on, guys? My name is Bo. So this is my 21 Premium Plus Turbo hatch. This car has the drop-in big fuel pump out of the LC500, a Cork Sport silicone intake hose, a drop-in AFE intake filter, and that's the dry filter, not the oiled one, and a sauce tube. I also have the Optima red top battery in there because factory battery sucks, so you got to replace that. And nothing else. Otherwise, it's a super cool car. Really love it. You know, change the tires out too, but yeah,
it's a sleeper. Pretty much, he has the bare minimum done to it.
Yep.
You know, exactly. Like, you know, a little bit higher flow with the intake, and then the fuel pump, which makes the biggest difference when the car is stocked, to me, in my opinion.
Yep.
Doesn't even have a downpipe on it, so I don't know. Do you have any plans to put anything else, or you want to just keep a sleeper like this and just keep working on the tune?
I just want to do the tune and then some aesthetic stuff, right? Change out the wheels, put the side skirts on, and put the the rear diffuser on it, because from factory I already have the front lip on there and the spoiler. But yeah, just want to change some appearance stuff, and then maybe an axle back eventually, just to get a little extra sound out of it.
So yeah, this car is the most stockish out of all the cars here so far.
Yep.
For the Mazdas, but it doesn't feel any slower than them.
Nope, still pretty quick.
We got to interview John again because he has a completely different car now. Last one ended up getting totaled. So now John's starting his project all over again. So go ahead and explain what you're going to do to it and what you got done so far.
It's only been 6 weeks since the last one got totaled. So far it's a little bit further up the schedule than I expected. But right now I've got the whole turbo inlet pipe for ram intake. Today we're going to put on the GTR spark plugs and LC500 pump. For now, I've just got the wider wheels, 19 pounds each, full cat pack exhaust, rear motor mounts, rigid collars. That's as far as it goes for extra performance stuff, and of course the sauce tune. At the moment, I'm still waiting on coilovers to come in. I've got the big turbo sitting at home still. It's been about maybe almost 6 months since we got it.
Yeah, had the big turbo since February, and luckily it wasn't on the other car that got totaled, so I'm kind of glad that he took his time. So now he still has a big turbo at home. He was the first. This is actually, well, the first production big turbo that came after Lance's first one. So he was the first one to get one actually purchased.
So kind of hoping at some point within a month to be able to get the big turbo on. I've got a custom catless downpipe coming from Mexico that I'm going to put on at the same time, and take advantage of the new charge pipe and the diverter valves from Lance. So hopefully by June this will be a little bit better than it is now and what it was last time. So
all right, and there we have it. So we're back with Brian again, and he's going to give us an update on his car. We just got off the dyno. A little disappointed in the numbers because we have the wastegate duty cycle up too high. So he ended up making 227, 350 torque. But yeah, I think that's just due to the wastegate duty, but we just fixed that. We put another tune on there. But go ahead and take it away, Brian.
So I have the Cork Sport SRI with the inlet tube and the Cork Sport rear motor mount inserts, and of course Cork Sport downpipe and 80 millimeter exhaust all the way back, and of course a Mazda Justin Mazda sauce tune. And I added the factory aero kit around the car.
So what's next for the car? Are you almost done?
I want to lower it a little bit and get some different rims, some wider wheels and tires, maybe some 245s instead of these 215s the cars come with.
Yep. And see, and he put in the display, the CX-5 display that I have as well. He has a different mount than me. His sits a little bit different. His is angled up, and his mount is a little bit cheaper. You can actually get the 3D file for free, and he got it printed for $32. So his angle of his mount sits upright, and mine sits a little bit lower. And so he got his for $200, his display. So he paid less than $250 for his old 10.25 display. So yeah, the car's looking good. You say you're gonna lower it next, and just keep it simple.
Lower it, I want to go with a not so low spring, so it only lowers it about an inch around, I think. I don't want aggressive because I already have a car that's aggressively low.
Yeah, the Mustang, and your other car, the Miata. So let's go over there and give him talk about the Miata today and see what you were expecting to get more power than you did, but for what we did to the car and what you did to it, I think it's a great amount of power. Considering we're not at the max, nowhere near it. We can still turn it up a lot more.
I was always expecting somewhere between 10 and 15 added horsepower, and it seems like we actually got there.
So stock, these cars come with about 154 wheel horsepower. He just hit 165 today, and then we decided after we got off the dyno to go on the street and add a little bit more. So he's at about 170 wheel horsepower on his ND2. So go ahead and tell him what you got done to it to get to 170 wheel horsepower.
Okay, so I have the Goodwin Racing header. It's got this ceramic coating on it. I have the Goodwin Racing mid pipe, and I have the Greddy axle back. It's a 2.5-inch exhaust all the way back, and then I have the Goodwin Racing strut brace. I had to change it because I have the Olin's coilovers, and with the factory strut brace there was no way to be able to do an adjustment on the struts. And then so I'm lowered, like I said, on the Olin's. I have some chassis stiffening from Goodwin Racing underneath. Of course, I have the Varus front splitter,
We can make
Varus side splitters, the Varus rear diffuser. This is a Weber Sport rear spoiler that I had imported, and of course my car is the factory car with it come with the BBS, the Recaro seats, and the Brembo brakes. And then I changed the shifter out to a Craven Speed short throw shifter, and I added the Alcantara Mazda optional door fabrics, and the brake shifter, the brake lever boot, and the console. And it's got a different steering wheel. I think it's a Cypher steering wheel, I think is what it's called. And then I changed the faces on the gauges.
There's different gauges.
And the flying Miata foot pedals.
Yeah, so this car is pretty complete. And also, you did the fuel pump in there recently as well.
Yes, yeah, I got the Fab 9 fuel pump.
All right, and you noticed a difference with that?
Yes.
Even though it's the same size pump, it's even if it, it's a fresh pump, so it should feel better, even if it's exactly the same pump, But yeah, he made some decent power today, and the car can still make more power, So we might turn it up a little bit more, but right now this is the first ND I ever tuned, so I'm not sure the limits on these NDs, but I mean, if Brian's willing, we might turn it up a little bit more. But for right now, the goal is just to make at least 10 horsepower over stock, and we achieved that. He pretty much. What's left for performance? What else do you want to add? Is there anything else you want to add performance wise?
I want to change the cold air intake to it's a Auto EXE Ram Air, but those are like $1,000. So
yeah. So
maybe after the summertime, when the winter comes, the budget will come back to do that, because I'm going to be going to a bunch of Miata meets here in the coming months.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. Got Brian's ND. So he put both his cars. Go ahead.
I do have wheels on order from 949 Racing. I'm going with the 6 UL. They're 17 by 8s, and they have a better offset on these. I have to run wheel spacers to be able to get them to look out more. I don't like the way they sunken in so much from the factory. So the wheel spacers will be coming off in the coming weeks.
Gotcha. All right, well, thanks for updating us, and thanks for letting me work on your car, because I'm learning as I go. And hopefully we get you up to about 180. That would be the end goal for me, is to see this car at 180 wheel horsepower, all naturally aspirated. Yep, so there you have it, guys. And we're here at the meet, and everyone's enjoying their time. Pretty packed day. The dyno's full. There's no open slots. There's a lot of cars that are very interesting cars getting on the dyno today. So this isn't just for Subarus and Mazdas. A lot of cars there. You got some BMWs out here. There's this MG. Actually made some decent power. So with the carburetor on, I think how much you end up making on this car?
6.5.
Made 65 horsepower, but car is like 2,000 pounds. So got some pretty interesting cars out here for the dyno day. 3 pulls for $90. So got this car, got some different cars up here. There's a GTR up on the lift right now. No big deal. Oh wait, look, there's another GTR, just the older generation. So obviously we got my car here. Tell us who you are.
I'm Dory, and I'm here with Justin, my tuner. This is my 2016 Mazda Mazda 2.5 manual transmission with my VT Racing supercharger, and we're going to dyno it.
How many Mazdas have you had?
3.
This is your third one?
Yeah.
What were your other two?
I had a gray 2.0 and then decided I didn't want that engine, and then I got a red 2017 2.5, all 3s. But then I thought I was going to get pulled over with a red car.
Were they all manual?
Yes.
All 3 manual.
All manual, yeah.
So, but yeah, guys, she got the 2.5 with the manual. So she might make the most power out of any of the cars we've dynoed before. We'll find out today.
And the light wheels.
Oh yeah, and she got the wheels, she got the Inkies.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's ready for it. We'll see if that helps. She made 248 wheel horsepower. Stock intake, stock exhaust. Just slapped on a supercharger and put a pump in it. There you have it, guys. Dyno day. You got to see a couple of my customers. I think we could have squeezed out a little bit more on those dynos. I know how my cars work, but look, honestly, I'm happy with that. And like seeing that last supercharger dyno, that curve, I felt very proud. It was a beautiful curve with minimum modifications done to that car. And she's not even on the latest tune. So all these guys, after they did the dyno and whatnot, I updated their tunes. I was just so busy, I forgot to send all the tunes out. So after the dynos, I gave everyone updated tunes. Actually, she still doesn't have her updated tune. I'm going to send that out to her after this video. But yeah, we can all crank out a little bit more power. There's always more stuff that I'm finding out. I actually even tuned Brian's MD2 again today. And after he left, I talked to some Miata guys, and they told me I should crank the RPM up to 8K because I have them at 7,500 right now. If I crank it up to 8K, he should make a little bit more power. So we're probably going to get Brian back on the dyno soon. It is what it is. But that's all for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in.